Hi, I'm Emily, and I'm the Castle Girl. Today I'm at Dundonald Castle. Dundonald Castle sits on a high moat hilltop above Dundonald village, around 4 miles northeast of the seaside town of Troon, and about 5 miles west of the town of Irvine in South Ayrshire, on the southwest coast of Scotland. There is evidence to suggest that the present castle was built on top of a wooden fortified structure dating from around 1000 BC. And further evidence found of 3 other medieval keeps on the site dating back to around the 6th century. The name Dundonald translates from Scottish Gaelic to Fort of Donald. During around the 9th and 10th centuries, there were about 4 kings with the name of Donald. This was around the same time when the Kingdom of Scotland was established. During the 1100s, a timber fort was built on the site, replacing the Iron Age structure. And was possibly built by Walter Fitzalan, who was a steward of Scotland for David I during this time. Although we can see no surface remains of the castle that he built. During the 1200s, the second castle was constructed by Alexander Stewart, also known as Alexander of Dundonald, the 4th High Steward of Scotland. This was under the reign of Alexander III of Scotland. The castle was mainly a stone-built keep, but was slighted by Robert the Bruce during the Wars of Scottish Independence in the 1300s. The only evidence of this structure is the base remains of a tower. The third castle is a castle we can see the remains of today. This was built around 1371 for Robert, the second King of Scots, during his reign. Robert was the grandson of Robert the Bruce and was the first royal to give rise to the House of Stuarts. Both Robert II and his son Robert III used Dundonald Castle as a royal domicile. Robert II died here in April 1390. The castle comprised a huge 3-storey tower house with armorial carved panels on the west wall of the Stuarts and Scotland's royal arms. There are 2 great halls inside the tower. The Lake Hall, which has a large vaulted ceiling. And the upper Great Hall, which is now roofless and has the remains of a ribbed vaulted ceiling. There is a dungeon with a prison pit, which is accessible from the upper hall by stairs. On the ground floor is an area for storage. On the south of the castle there is an extension, possibly added around the 15th century, which could have been the private residences of the royal families, and below this is a kitchen or bakehouse with remains of buildings outside, which could have housed stables and a brewery. The castle was passed to the Wallaces of Craigie by 1520. In 1536, James V granted the land to Robert Boyd, the fourth Lord Boyd, although he could not expel the Wallaces from the property, and left the castle in their ownership. The Wallaces sold the castle to James Matheson around 1632. It was sold in 1638 to Sir William Cochrane. He became Earl of Dundonald in 1669 for his support to the royal cause during the Wars of the Three Kingdoms. In 1920, the castle was made a scheduled monument. The ruined castle was gifted to the state in 1953 by Thomas Cochrane, the 13th Earl of Dundonald, as a tourist attraction, and restoration work began. The visitor centre on the site is owned and managed by Friends of Dundonald Castle. Today, the ruined castle is in the care of Historic Environment Scotland. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to visiting a castle near you. Bye!